The last one of the trip for the Philadelphia 76ers. Don't let up. Welcome to the PHLY Sixers pregame show live from the Xfinity mobile studio. Along with Derek Kyle, I'm Devon Bree, President of Basketball Operations. We are presented by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. At Bet365, big game for the Sixers, final game of their road trip. And with it, they're trying to go 4-1 on this 5-game West Coast trip and leave feeling pretty good about themselves after this one. And just the one against the Portland Trailblazers here tonight. We'll get into our pregame picks presented by Bet365, which we are here on the pregame show. The starters and all for tonight's basketball game. See if the bench support can come through once again here tonight.
Spoiler alert for everybody who's watching this game. The late inactives. You said big game. Somebody might want to tell the Sixers that because they sure aren't carrying themselves as if this is a game that matters whatsoever.
One more. Just get one more, whether it's big to them or not. Just get the W. Make it easy on everybody else. And we'll just simply talk about it right from the start with not letting up. But as Kyle spoiled it, maybe they are let up a little bit here with some of the latest news. Quentin Grimes already dealing with illness, already out for the game. So that one you expected with Quentin Grimes. But now with the latest, as things are starting to come down a little bit more as the game is getting here closer, Dominic Barlow was also dealing with an illness. Joel Embiid was questionable with his right knee injury. And it looks like, Kyle, go ahead and run with it since we already have some of it that you shared.
I mean, it's the news, right? That's the business we're in. I'm not going to spend 20 minutes talking with you guys and then be like, oh, yeah, by the way, none of those guys are playing.
That's not what I was saying. I was just saying that go ahead. We already just started and go for it.
So Barlow's out. Grimes is out. Joel is out. PG's out. And what we get a look at tonight is a lineup that we probably never would have anticipated starting a game together of Drummond and Watford and Oubre and Maxey and Edgecombe. So I don't have any idea what to make of this group. I think they have very little shooting in a similar way when they've played this lineup with Barlow in place of Watford. At least Watford has given you some of that point forward type ability. It does seem, though, that once Grimes was out with the illness and Barlow was on the borderline, I would imagine that it was just like, you know what? Give Joel this one off. It's not like we've heard a whole heck of a lot suggesting that he's in bad shape right now. So now this comes down to a few things. One, how is Tyrese Maxey running the solo star show? He's been showing signs of fatigue lately. The three-point shot has not been there for him lately. So what kind of help does he get from VJ Edgecombe? Where does the bench scoring has been hard enough for this team as it is, and that's with Quentin Grimes coming off the bench. That was with the staggering they were able to do the other night, for example, of Joel Embiid and Maxey, where when one guy's out, the other one can take over a little bit. You build the lineups around them. This is going to be tough sledding tonight. And then the other, perhaps even bigger problem is when Maxey's off the floor and it's the VJ show. We've seen so many issues with VJ and Grimes and no other star. Well, now Grimes is gone too. So is it VJ and Oubre are the two main guys? Do you bring Kyle Lowry, dust off the cobwebs from his coaching seat at the end of the bench? I am not exactly sure where Nick Nurse is going to go in this one, but I guess that's part of the fun. And if they don't do anything or they just kind of capitulate, it'll be one of many games that they've gotten their butts kicked in Portland over the years, and we'll all just say, well, just another one of those games, I suppose.
That is very bold of you to assume that Nick Nurse is going to sit Tyrese Maxey at all in this one. And that is honestly like my number one goal here. Do not overreact to the moment. Do not play Tyrese Maxey 46 plus minutes per game. Give him a normal workload. And by normal, I would like that number to start with a 3. And if that is not enough, then so be it. You go home with a 4 or a 3-2 record on this road trip, and you are okay with that. You do not have to overreact trying to get a win because, quite frankly, when you're missing 4 of your top 6 players, it's probably unlikely, even if the opponent is not necessarily a world beater.
Well, I mean, look, with this one, we talk about 2-3, satisfactory 3-2. We get greedy 4-1, 5-0 that we said after they won, the first game. Maybe they're just satisfied with how this one turned out, with the guys playing the way that they did, looking at where it is, understanding that, hey, if we do steal this one, we steal it. But outside of the Lakers game and losing it, they were in every one of these games, had an opportunity to win them all. And this one, they're just saying, okay, let's just go out there, get through it, get back home for one game before the trip. But now as we're here, you guys are right. The Tyrese Maxey, what's it going to look like with him? He's struggled. He's looked tired. As far as leaning on other people, get ready for a big Kelly Oubre offensive opportunity here tonight. You expect him to feel good about the opportunity for himself. But when Tyrese Maxey is off the floor, aside from Kelly Oubre, does VJ Edgecombe have enough? Do you have to lean on Kelly Oubre, Kyle Lowry, and dust him off, as Kyle said, as we get this one going? Is MarJon Beauchamp available for tonight so he can get some run? Is that what we're going to see?
He better be.
I mean, they need somebody. So with it, get ready for a lot of different looking lineups and seeing if things can click there for the 76ers. So it's going to be an interesting one, different one. So we're going to talk about bench support and all that. That's just a part of what the starting lineup is now, with all of these guys out, where they're just leaning on each other to see if they can get this one done. So good trip. Let's see if they can now steal one in this version. And we would talk about it a lot with Rivers in the past, and now Nick Nurse. He's going to have to coach. He's really going to have to coach tonight to see if he can find their way through this one and see if they can steal a win here on the road for this final one. So should be an interesting one. They're never dull. They're never boring, as we know when it comes to the Sixers, that they always give us something to talk about and certainly something to watch for. So let's see how this one plays out.
Yeah, so some additional context for Joel missing this game is that he has not missed a game that wasn't part of a back-to-back since, I believe, December 28th. It has been a while. He's been out there and healthy and available. So I hope that this is as simple as you're at the end of this long trip, you see a couple guys out, maybe you're just like, if we win it, great, it's money in the bank. If not, it's not a big deal. Let's protect him and keep the workload down. I'm not exactly sure on that, but it is something that, because he hasn't missed one of these in a while, going to have to get some more information on. I'm glad you brought up Beauchamp, Devon, because to me, he absolutely has to play in this game. You in fact, I don't want to see Lowry. I would rather just see Maxey and VJ running the offense for 48 minutes. We talk about staggering with Maxey and Embiid. Tonight, it's got to be Maxey and VJ on the court, at least one of them, for all 48 minutes. I agree with the suggestion that Maxey's night should have a 3 in the front of the number count would be ideal. I don't know that Nick Nurse will subscribe to that belief if he's available to play, but I would rather just put as many wings as you can on the floor. You're going to have Watford out there as your nominal forward. I honestly wouldn't be completely opposed to getting real crazy and saying, like, let's throw Charles Bassey and a Dembona out there.
Sure.
Like, this could be, you're at the end of a road trip. You're against a team. You only play twice a year. It's a frisky team, but they're not particularly good. Like, they don't hang their hats on one singular thing. Deni Avdija has been really, really good this year, but this is not an overwhelming collection of talent to any extent. So just try some stuff, right? When Nick Nurse was hired, a lot of people were like, oh man, they got this guy he'll just throw anything at the wall. He'll try all kinds of different. Well, how about we prove that tonight? Do something crazy, throw out some double big lineups, just make them think about it a little bit is what I would ask. And playing Beauchamp is at or near the top of the list as far as that goes, because he's been on this two-way deal and they're just not using him. And he's like, look, I'm not going to overestimate what he has to offer, but he's an NBA wing who has offered real minutes to teams in the past. So why not give him a shot tonight?
I do have a second key to this game. Do not get anyone suspended. Just don't do it. I don't know if anybody was watching the Charlotte-Detroit game, but ooh, boy, there's going to be some players getting some time off after that.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're going to get some real time off for that one. Yeah, the Beauchamp thing is interesting for me. The Bassey, as you bring up him and running out there, and look, you're going to need some bodies down there to rebound and just fill up some minutes. So have at it. And who sees if Janai Broom fits in there? Some of the people like corporate B-Pump in the chat talking about Point Broom. Get him out there. Well, I don't know about Point Broom, but maybe he has to log a few minutes tonight for the Sixers. But everybody should be available.
Can't talk trash on VJ anymore, so he's just shifting to his other narrative.
There you go. But everybody should be available.
Can't kill a cockroach, fellas. Or at least it's very difficult.
They all should be available for this one, and that includes the deep bench guys on 2-ways and 10-day contracts, and see where they go. So when we come back, we talk about the team a little bit more, what more we want to see from this group as they close out this trip, and maybe we can put some conversation on who would be the target for the guys to maybe get suspended. Who would that be? I don't even know if there's anybody on this team that would want to get suspended that will come in and do that. Nobody's as crazy as Isaiah Stewart in that matter. Not. So let's take our break. When we come back, we keep it going with the conversation. Sixers, Blazers got that much more interesting with so many guys out. If you're just joining us, we'll let you know on the other side who's in, who's out. Our pregame picks, final one of this road trip. Sixers, Blazers, we're discussing it right here on the PHLY Sixers pregame show.
And guys, next up, we want to tell you about Xfinity and their 5-year price guarantee. What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Imagine Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home work together, that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that lets you stream the game even when the whole family's online. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and Xfinity's best equipment included. Take it from me, a lot can change in 5 years. Championships are won, records are broken, dreams grow bigger. But your Wi-Fi, it should stay reliable, and the price should stay put. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply.
Time to tell you about our presenting sponsor, Bet365. Whatever the moment's never ordinary at Bet365. Over 90 million users worldwide, 780 live events each year, and you get early payouts in the NBA and the NHL. Where else are you getting that? Nowhere but Bet365. And you can always find great super profit boosts, regular profit boosts as well. It's a great place to place your wagers on the games that you love. Also, for new customers and new customers only, guess what? You get $200 in bonus bets when you sign up. That's right, win or lose. You're also getting that nowhere else but Bet365. All you have to do is sign up using the code PHLY365, deposit $10, place a bet for $5, and you get $200 in bonus bets credit to your account. Bonus bets can be used on spreads, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 plus and physically located in Pennsylvania. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Back here on the PHLY Sixers pregame show, Derek Kyle, Devon Bree, all of us here with you. And we'll get to our pregame picks here shortly as we lead into Sixers Pistons. Just to, again, to let everybody know, Joel Embiid is out. So is Dominic Barlow and Quentin Grimes. They're also out. So Sixers down some key players, some rotational players for their team tonight in their final game of their trip. Speaking of the fight real fast, because you guys talking about Isaiah Stewart. Did you see how it all got started with Diabate and Duren just jawing on the inbounds pass? And then hard foul on Diabate on Duren. Then they're just nose to nose. And then Jalen Duren does one of the most disrespectful things that you could do. And that is really what it got started. He just mugged him. Look at that. That'll do it, everybody.
Yeah.
That'll do it. Nasty.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a whole lot to analyze here. I think the only reason I brought up Beef Stew is because he's a clown and he always finds a way to get involved in this stuff. Like, you can let other people fight without getting involved sometimes. My guy, like it. I get it. It's
Wasn't
stick up for your
involved at
teammates.
all.
You are not even close to being involved. You're just trying to make yourself the main character by getting involved. That guy's a clown. But
It's
we'll
like
see
he
what
knew
happens.
he had a reputation to uphold, and he couldn't let the opportunity go by without proving it. It was wild.
Yeah, getting upset about it, getting grabbed by your face like that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Like you want to fight back after that, I'm with you. Running from the other side of the floor just to come on, man. Absolute buffoon.
Yeah. Long suspension, man. Long suspension for him.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. All right. So you guys were talking a little bit about what you wanted to see from the guys tonight. We 2 more games left. Obviously, this trip and the last one on this trip and the home game on Wednesday. But with Tyrese Maxey the way that he is right now, with the fatigue that we see, or at least we think we see, with the fatigue, playing all the minutes on the floor, as you guys said, staggering him, but also don't play him any more than what the 3 in front of that number says and not the 40. How do you want to see the offense flow where you're not seeing too much one-on-one with him, getting the ball 8 seconds left on the clock, and he feels like he has to just overdo it, where he has to go one-on-one against maybe 2 defenders, Derek, and trying to get something going?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's going to be tough because, like Kyle said, you have almost no shooting in the lineup outside of Tyrese and VJ. And whenever that happens, like, it is really hard to get Tyrese good quality looks. I think probably you'd run a lot more through Watford, maybe Watford 2-man game, DHOs, give him a chance to be a little more creative and hopefully free Tyrese up for some easy shots. But, at the end of the day, there are going to be 2, maybe 3 players on the court at all times that the Blazers are comfortable helping off of and making Tyrese's life difficult. So it's going to be tough to get him going, for sure.
Yeah, I think the Watford point is right in that I think we've started to see the Sixers tap into the versatility. And now tonight, where there's no Joel, there's no PG, like there are a lot of touches to be had. I would like a good amount of those to go to VJ. And so you use Maxey as an off-ball guy coming off of pin downs and different things. Like, that's something we want to see. But also try to develop that chemistry further between Maxey and Watford. Did you guys see the play? Well, we all saw the play the other night, but remember the play the other night where Watford tried the through the legs Joel Embiid with Maxey, got called for a moving screen? Not going to get as much leeway on that one, my guy. So if he wants to try out some stuff like that in this game, make sure the feet are set, keep your shoulders square, do it by the book. And otherwise, I want to see exactly what we saw with Joel, just further out from the basket, where they're flipping the actions, where Watford's going from ball handler to the roller, playing out of those short roll situations. And that's something I think they could weaponize a lot tonight, because I would imagine with no Embiid, Portland is probably going to trap Maxey a good amount, force the ball out of his hands. And so that puts a lot of pressure on whoever the release valve is. So it could be Watford if he's the guy who's coming up the screen. It could be, frankly, VJ if they run some of those 1-2 ball screens that we saw like on the game winner against Memphis, which feels like 100 years ago now. These NBA seasons get longer and longer the longer you're covering the league. So anything that doesn't require Maxey to just, as you said, Devon, bring the ball up the floor and ISO. And to me, a lot of that is get the ball out of his hands early, weaponize his speed off the ball, look at using maybe some of those Iverson cuts that they use early in games, primarily, not so much at the end of games. There are all kinds of things you can do. And also be very deliberate about your lineups, where I know I did advocate for the double big stuff and get crazy, but do try to, as much as you can help it, put some shooting on the floor tonight, because if Portland's able to just sit back and load up at the rim, you're going to get what we've seen in recent games, particularly in that Lakers game where Maxey is just going to live and die by the 3. And recently he's been dying by the 3. So hopefully they can manufacture some open stuff for him off ball. And on ball, same focus as the last couple of games. Get to the paint, find your guys on drop-offs and kick-outs. And if they don't hit them, I'm not going to blame you for this one tonight. Tyrese, this is a very tough game that he's going to be tasked with trying to win.
Sometimes when we see a lot of players out, Maxey is out there with Oubre and Edgecombe, I would say more in particular, those two with George and Embiid out. What we've seen a lot of, you can tell from the very beginning of how the game is going to go for Maxey and what his game plan is. Is he going to be passing a little bit more, setting screens, giving the ball up pretty quickly and not holding it too much? Not to say that of course, that he doesn't want to be out there. It's just more of, I don't have it as much. Let me try to get these, see if these guys can get it. I'm still going to draw a lot of attention. So can they win their battles one-on-one when the ball swings back to them? So if we see him passing the ball earlier where we normally see him catch the ball, goes downhill, dribbles through his legs with the step back, and that type of work that he does, if we see that early, we can probably tell what kind of night it's going to be for him. Now, if the game is close and then he sees an opportunity to dial it up a little bit to help them secure the win, maybe that'll happen. But we typically get an idea of what his game is like early on when he is passing the ball up pretty early instead of taking shots that we're accustomed to seeing him take, both going to the basket and from behind the three-point line. But if he does stay in attack mode early, try to preserve your body a little bit. Everything doesn't have to be at the basket. The pull-up jumper is okay. You know, that mid-range jumper, which we haven't seen a lot, that's okay. He hasn't done the runner or the floater as much as we've seen early on in the season. Maybe some of those things he'll have as part of his arsenal tonight instead of the normal Tyrese Maxey stuff from behind the three-point line and just simply speed demon downhill to the basket and seeing if he can get there. But also when he had the other night where he didn't shoot it all that well, scored well enough, and of course helped him win, he got to the free throw line a lot. So maybe we'll see some of that too, where he draws some contact from the defense and rewarded with some free throws. I'm very interested to see how he starts the game in particular, to see what type of night it's going to be for him. I do think, all kidding aside, that I said it in the first segment, Kelly Oubre is going to see an opportunity tonight where he probably will take some of that pressure off of the guards, where he wants to go and just score the basketball. And I would be stunned if he is not a guy that tries to put a lot up on the board tonight.
Yeah, the only other thing, Kyle brought up the double big lineups possibility of it. There are two things that the Blazers do well. They take a lot of threes. They're third in the league at 42.1 threes per game. They don't make a lot of them. They're actually worse in the league at 33% shooting from three, but they take a lot of threes, and they are second in the league in offensive rebounding. So it tells you there's a lot of long rebounds that are going to be available. Sixers need to be on point, rebounding not only with their bigs, but as a team. Because like I said, when you take almost half of your shots from three-point range and you miss almost all of them, there are going to be a lot of floorboards. Those are not right around the rim. You're going to need more than just Drummond to clean up this mess.
Yeah, it reminds me of a thing one of my old basketball coaches used to say, which is they have a lot of shooters, but they don't have a lot of makers.
Yes.
So the other thing tonight, the main thing for me is how does VJ handle this responsibility where he's the very clear number 2 option on this team tonight. And we've seen some games this season where he's risen to that challenge and he goes out and he scores 25 and he's really aggressive. And obviously he's able to leave his imprint on the game. Some more games where foul trouble has impacted him recently. And I think he's got to be pretty cognizant of that tonight, because they can't afford to, even if he ends up in foul trouble, it's one of those games where they're so shorthanded that Nurse has just got to play through it and say, if you pick up 3 or 4 fouls in the first half, and he shouldn't, I just have to have you out there. There's just no way to get around it. And so he's got to come into the game understanding that. And similar to Maxey, Devon, I think it's a game where if he's got to live on, a pretty high volume of mid-range stuff and work on the floater, work on getting to the free throw line, like that's what you have to do. It's whatever is necessary to try to keep the offense moving, because they just do not have a lot of options out there right now. I think one thing that Nurse has hammered throughout this season that you want to see tonight is just play decisively, right? Like it shouldn't take, especially in this environment, the end of the shot clock or, pressure from that sort of situation for him to get going early in the offense. You don't have anybody you need to look for, apologize to, that you're taking their shot attempts, that you're the rookie. Like you're one of the most important players on the floor tonight. I would say you're the second most important player on the floor tonight for the Sixers. So come out, hunt your shot, get downhill, play playmaker if they collapse on you, do all the things we know he can do. Like, there's no excuse for him to have anything less than, like, if he doesn't clear at least 15 shot attempts, I'd be really upset. But for me, I want him to be even higher. Like, I just want him neon green light for the entire night for me.
Yep. So we'll see how it plays out. Let's get to the starters here tonight for the Sixers and the Blazers. Sixers starting lineup. We got 3 of the regulars with Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, and Kelly Oubre, Trendon Watford, Andre Drummond, as Kyle mentioned a little bit earlier, those guys in the starting lineup. And for the Portland Trailblazers, a couple former Sixers in there with Jrue Holiday, Jeremy Grant, all-star, first-time all-star Deni Avdija, Toumani Camara, and Donovan Clingan. They round out the 5 for the Portland Trailblazers. And we'll see Scoot Henderson is back for his second game after being out all season long. And Camara is a really good defender. So imagine that he'll be on one of those 2 guards, if not Kelly Oubre. Well, Jrue Holiday can have one of the other 2 guards as well. So should be an interesting matchup here tonight with them. Opportunity there for rebounding. Don't get in too much trouble rebounding-wise. Clingan is a good rebounder. Drummond, we know, can rebound, but he can also get in foul trouble if he gets beat to a rebound and reaches and the whistle blows. So that's the starting lineup for the Sixers tonight without all those guys. Rotation-wise, you're left with Bona and a lot of the other guys.
Devon was like, I thought of one guy and then was like,
I didn't want to go right away to Kyle Lowry because I'm saying there are no other guys.
We're getting Kyle tonight. We are getting some Kyle Lowry tonight.
So Bona, Kyle Lowry, and Patrick Baldwin Jr., maybe Janai Broome, Marjon Beauchamp, Charles Bassey. That's your bench for the Sixers tonight.
You mentioned Janai Broome, and I know our guy Pump is in here advocating for Janai minutes. If you can't get on the floor tonight, I don't know why they took you in the first place, buddy. Like, I hope that Nurse gives him at least a little bit of an opportunity here because they are desperate for minutes in the front court. Get him out there, see if he – and look, in theory, rebounding is supposed to be one of his major selling points. So get out there, grab some boards, maybe hit a shot or 2. Get to work, young fella.
No doubt. Kyle Lowry, get ready. Let's do it. All right, let's get to the Bet365 pregame picks presented by Bet365. Whatever the moment's never ordinary at Bet365. What do we have here tonight, Bree? Let's see what Bree has here for this one. Donovan Clingan, double-double. I'm in on that. Plus 122. Rebounding the way that he does. I'm in on that one. I went with before the game. I didn't change it. I said I'm going to stay with it. I'm not going to change it. I have VJ with the under of the 10.5 rebounds and assists. He might clear that one in the first half if he has to help on the glass. Toumani Camara with a steal and a block combined over 1.5. Mine is plus 290. If you'd like to combine those, everybody, or change it from the under to the over for VJ Edgecombe, you can do that at Bet365. Use code PHLY365. When you do sign up, you get $200 in bonus bets. Win or lose, deposit $10, place a bet for $5. And you get a 50% profit boost tonight as well on any same game parlay at Bet365. So that'll do it for us. This one should be interesting, everybody. The getaway game. We don't know what we're going to get, but we're getting a getaway game.
All right, from the Sixers.
It's the last one of the road trip. We'll be back 10 minutes after the game goes final, everyone. We hope to see you with us on this Monday night. We can't thank you enough for hanging out with us all trip. And we have one more, everybody, just one more, and then the home game, and then it's the All-Star break and a bunch of 3 o'clock shows for us here on the PHLY Sixers podcast. So for Derek, Kyle, and Bree, I'm Devon. 10 minutes after the game goes final, we'll be back here to break it all down. I can't wait to find out who the unsung hero is of this one because, hey, should be a fun one. So enjoy the game. We'll be back with all of you after the game goes final right here on the PHLY Sixers postgame show. Enjoy.